You have heard to avoid certain cars, but the truth is it is specific engines that can silently ambush your wallet, sometimes with a 25% failure rate, 10,000 pounds rebuilds, or fatal design flaws you cannot see on the forecourt. Most buyers never spot the warning signs until it is too late. Want to know which engines make any deal too risky to touch? Oil dilution is the silent killer in Jaguar Land Rover's 2-liter Ingenium diesel. Every time the engine tries to clean its diesel particulate filter, it injects extra diesel to burn off soot. But on short trips, school runs, and city commutes, those cycles are cut short. Unburnt fuel slips past the piston rings and mixes straight into the oil in the sump. The result is oil that is thinner, slick with diesel, and losing its ability to protect the engine's moving parts. Land Rover specialists have seen oil samples with more than 6% diesel content, well past the danger line. Mechanics check the dipstick and catch a whiff of raw diesel, sometimes even seeing the oil level rising instead of falling. That is the warning sign many owners miss. If the oil smells like fuel or looks suspiciously thin, walk away. No service interval or oil flush can undo the damage once it starts. This is where timing chains start to suffer, but the chemical damage comes first. Plastic timing chain guides inside the Ingenium diesel start to crumble as the oil thins out. What begins as a slight rattle quickly turns into fragments breaking away and circulating through the engine. Those chunks block narrow oil galleries, starving vital moving parts of lubrication. Tensioners lose pressure, the chain slackens, and soon the engine is out of sync. Owners report sudden engine lock-ups at 60,000 to 80,000 miles, sometimes with no warning beyond a faint noise. The repair bill can be anywhere from 5,000 pounds to 12,000 pounds for a full rebuild, depending on how much internal damage the debris causes. One owner shared an invoice for 8,500 pounds after their Evoque seized on the motorway, all traced back to a ruined plastic guide. No amount of servicing can guarantee safety once these guides start to fail. If there is any sign of chain rattle or a history of oil issues, walk away. No bargain is worth this risk. A closer look at the wet timing belt inside Ford's 1-liter EcoBoost reveals the real danger. This is not a traditional dry belt running outside the engine. Instead, it is rubber fully immersed in hot engine oil, expected to last up to 150,000 miles. Over time, oil and heat break down the belt's rubber surface. The outer layer starts to delaminate, peeling away in strips and exposing the inner fibers. Tiny flakes and rubber threads shed off, circulating inside the oil. These fragments collect at the oil pickup strainer, the engine's only line of defense. Once the mesh clogs, oil flow drops sharply, starving bearings and turbochargers of lubrication. There is no dashboard warning for this. One day the car runs fine, the next it is knocking or seizing with no oil pressure. Ford's own technical service bulletin 192081 calls for urgent belt checks because even low-mileage cars can suffer early failure. The cost of ignoring it is a full engine rebuild, often double the value of the car. Spotting which EcoBoost you are looking at takes less than 5 seconds. Open the bonnet and check the turbo location. If the turbo sits at the very front of the engine, you are looking at the original Fox wet belt version, the one most likely to clog its oil pickup and destroy itself. This layout ran in most Fiestas, Focuses, and EcoSports, built before 2019. The risk is high. Over 20% of these engines failed by 70,000 miles, and Ford's own bulletins flagged it for urgent inspection. Now, if the turbo is tucked behind the engine, closer to the bulkhead, you have found the update that came after 2019. That version switches back to a timing chain, which holds up better in daily use. But even here, the oil pump still relies on a smaller wet belt, so it is not immune to trouble, though it is just less likely to grenade early. The turbo position check is quick, clear, and can save you thousands in repairs. One small mercy with the 1.2 PureTech is that you can actually see the timing belt through the oil filler cap. That is rare. Most wet belt engines hide the belt deep inside, so you are flying blind until it is too late. A Stellantis technician can pop the cap, shine a torch, and check for cracks or fraying in seconds. If it looks worn or glazed, a belt swap runs about 800 to 1,200 pounds, which is less than the engine is worth. Some owners skip the hassle and fit a chain conversion kit instead. It is pricier at around 1,500 pounds, but it eliminates the belt problem for good. Mazda's early SkyActiv diesels caught even seasoned technicians off guard. Engines built from 2010 to 2014 are notorious for carbon and gum building up inside the oil pickup pipe. Over time, this sludge chokes the oil supply, starving the turbocharger and stretching the timing chain. The result is not just a warning light. Turbochargers fail, and chains can skip teeth, wrecking the engine. Around 1 in 10 of these early diesels faces this fate, often before 120,000 miles. Anyone considering a Mazda diesel built before 2014 should think twice. No amount of regular servicing guarantees protection from a clogged pickup. Right now, flawed engines still flood the used market, costing buyers thousands overnight. In a world of hidden risks, knowledge is not just power, it is protection. Stay sharp and share your story below.